Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. This time we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Nightforce Falcon and Quarrel. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Alright, so tonight we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Nightforce box set with Falcon and Quarrel. This is number 138 in the series. This is a set that I had no intention on purchasing just because I really wasn't crazy about the color palette for the uniforms and the design of Quarrel's uniform. However, I saw it today in an area comic book store. I got it as part of a trade, and we're going to see what it's all about. So taking a look at the packaging, you've got your enclosed window display box, G.I. Joe Classified Series banner down at the bottom, Nightforce logo and G.I. Joe logo on the lower left. And of course you see the action figures in the slide out tray. On this side panel you've got the skill symbols as well as some blue scale artwork of the characters. This side panel you can see the same artwork in full color. And on the back panel, you've got some obligatory product shots of both of the figures, along with some close-up shots in the inset, the skill symbols down below that. Alright, so this is what you're going to find inside the packaging. First and foremost, you have the removable insert with the G.I. Joe emblem on a blue field. And you have both action figures as well as all their accessories in the slide-out tray. Alright, so here we have Falcon and Quarrel outside of the packaging, and as you can see, I've taken the liberty to repaint both of these action figures before progressing with the product review. So for Quarrel, you can see that I repainted the sheaths for both of her knives in black. I also gave her a temporary holster for her sidearm since she doesn't have one. Also took the time to file down and then sand down the throwing stars on her left arm, and then I repainted that black, and I repainted the gray straps on her plate carrier black, and I repainted her gun belt black. It was also red. And you can see I've weathered her. I've also removed the shoulder pads on her left shoulder. You can see British flag patch, Great Britain. On her right shoulder she's got a Z-Force logo there. And for Falcon, there wasn't a lot to do to him. Those mag pouches on his plate carrier were brown. I repainted them black. And I've done a lot of weathering on him, as you can see. To make them look like they've been out in the field. As far as articulation, I'll remove the beret. The head and neck on both of these figures is on a ball joint. So you got a full range of motion, butterfly joint, bicep rotation, upper arm rotation, double jointed elbow, wrist rotation, wrist pivot. Torso's on a ball joint as well as a hinge for the upper torso, forward and lateral movement thigh, drop down thigh joint, thigh rotation, double jointed knees there. Lower leg rotation, foot will pivot and roll. You can see I've also removed his shoulder armor, which was impeding the range of motion for his shoulders and arms and biceps. And for Quarrel, she's got the same range of motion that he does. You can see she also has a butterfly joint, double jointed elbows there, wrist swivel and pivot, torso's on a ball joint. Take her off this display base, forward and lateral movement to thigh, drop down thigh joint, thigh rotation, double jointed knees, lower leg rotation, foot will pivot and roll. And I've temporarily placed her on Scarlett's display base because for a female figure, she's sort of top heavy with the plate carrier and stuff. All right, let's talk about accessories. First and foremost, Falcon does include his beret. You guys can see that there. Haven't seen him with that on. He also includes an interchangeable helmet, and on both of these helmets for Falcon and Quarrel, I've used apple barrel, matte black, dry brushed it on there to tone down the bright red and the gold trim on the visor, as well as the red painted wings on the side of the helmet. You can take its head sculpt and pop it off, and then pop the helmet on just like that. And I gotta say, that's a really cool look. I do like that. I think this figure makes a good base for customizing. Falcon also includes his camo pack. It's got two 1-quart canteens on there, some static repelling rope, got a whip antenna, got a molded in sheath for that large machete that he includes. I like the fact that the pack sits high on his back. That's really realistic. And here's a large knife or machete for him. And again, that will go into sheath on his backpack. He does include this shotgun, which is the same shotgun that he includes with the first edition of Falcon. It's got the folding and collapsible stock on it. A couple of molded in shells supposedly there. They're too short to be shells. It will come off. You just have to push it back into place. It's got a vented rib on the top of it. Open muzzle for your blast effects. And it's fairly symmetrical. It's got a little bit of warping in it, but not much. Also included is this grenade launcher with a red dot sight. And you can see that the drum magazine will rotate. Again, open muzzle on it. Quad rail is vented, collapsible stock. Then you've got this squad automatic weapon, and it does have a detachable box magazine. If I can get it to detach. There we go. And the thing that I don't like about this gun is the fact that it does not have a stock. You would not see anyone carrying a squad automatic weapon without a stock on it. You wouldn't shoot this from the hip. You just wouldn't. It would be uncontrollable. And when you're firing a belt-fed weapon like this, fully automatic weapon, you have to fire it in bursts, like 3 5-round bursts. Pull the trigger and let off, pull the trigger and let off. Otherwise, the muzzle climb will be uncontrollable and you'll be off target. And that's why they'd have a red dot, something like that. It's got a full-length pick rail on top. You can see it's got some warping there. He also includes these quad nods with a head mount. They've got the lenses painted red on these, but the actual quad nods have white phosphorus tubes in them, so they would not be red. It looks like a really light blue color. And they would not have those single eyepieces like that. Each of these tubes coming off of the eyepiece on the back is combined, and it gives you like 92-degree field of view for vision. So it's illegal to post pictures on the internet of what this actually looks like, but they look like 3 interconnected circles. That's the way that they look when you have 4 tubes like that. He also includes a crook neck flashlight, which is supposed to fit in this ring on his belt. And I don't know if it's going to go in or not. Yeah, there we go. So there's his crook neck flashlight. It's old school kit there. And last of all, he does include his sidearm. I've already got that in his holster. Pull it back out so you guys can see this.
compact pistol. It's got an extended mag. I guess this is supposed to be based off of a SIG M18 type pistol and a drop thigh holster there. And he's got this drop thigh rig on his left thigh for spare mags. For Quarrel, she does include a 1911 style pistol. That will fit in the holster that I've given her. This holster come off of the first release of Duke. That's why it's really loose. I've just got it sitting over this band that she included. It's on her leg. Quarrel includes 2 combat knives. First of all, you've got the solid black knife, black handle, black drop point blade. That's going to go in this sheath on her left thigh. It's going to slide down in there just like that. She also includes this nice made like a Gherkin curved blade, black handle. And if you can see this, the bottom part of that sheath is open. She also includes a crook neck flashlight, and I don't see anywhere on her kit for this to attach at all. Yep. Nowhere. For her primary weapon, she does include this M16. It's got that Colt 3 power scope on it. I do like these rifles because they have the short stock, and that makes it really useful for these classified series figures, particularly female figures. They're able to shoulder these weapons, manipulate them properly as a detachable 30-round box magazine. So if you want to put this in her hand and bring her arm up into a realistic shooting position, open her fingers up, to have her shoulder the rifle, take a little bit of manipulation. She can get a solid cheek weld. She can do that with these rifles because of that short stock. This is the same rifle that is included with the retro cardback Scarlet. Grunt also includes this rifle. I'll be honest with you guys, it's really the only long gun included with the classified series figures that I like. What I've been doing in the past for some of my photo shoots are using some of the Action Force weapons. They're great because they're ABS plastic. You don't have to worry about the warping, so you're not sitting there constantly, pushing down on parts of it to make it straight so you can take a picture. But they're actually a larger scale than these guns are, so they're, in all honesty, a little too large for the classified series. She does include her crossbow, like Scarlet's, and it includes several bolts that you can place into it. Just go down in between these little tabs, soft rubber tabs on there. You can also take these bolts and store them in the quiver. Slide down in there. And they have different heads on them. That one doesn't want to fit as much because it's got a claw head on it. These will with the standard arrow head. They fit in there. And last of all, she does include interchangeable head sculpt as well, so you can pop her head sculpt off, pop that helmet on. Overall, it's a really nice box set. If you are a collector or fan of the G.I. Joe Classified series, you definitely want to pick up these and add them to your collection. So there you have the G.I. Joe Classified series Nightforce, Falcon, and Quarrel by Hasbro.